Hey everybody, this is John here with GeoJoy John. I was going to show you how to take apart a 3D printer and clean it up that's secondhand so that it goes from this to looking like this. Now this 3D printer I bought off of LetGo, and one problem I'm having is that the brass fittings don't slide across the rods very smoothly. In fact, the previous owner used a lot of lithium grease on the bearings and it was all gunked up, and it probably worked just fine, but I want to make it run real smooth. So I'm going to show you how to clean the bearings and how to clean the smooth rod. And these are all the tools you're going to need. All you're going to need is some cloth, some 1000 grit sandpaper, an abrasive pad, and some products like Brasso and WD-40. Definitely going to want to use gloves during this whole process. And something to be aware of is do not use any type of brake cleaner on any plastic parts, as they will start to melt and you'll have to stop that melting as soon as possible. So do not use brake cleaner on any of your 3D prints or any ABS injection molded parts. All right, let's get started. You can see how this part doesn't slide very easily across and definitely doesn't glide across the way that we want. So we want this thing to go really smooth. So when I just tip it, it just goes over, but it gets all caught up. So this is what we're going to start doing. First, you're going to clean it with a clean rag. Get all the old grease off of it. Nice and clean. And it can be hard to see on camera, but this has a little bit of corrosion on the brass, on the stainless steel. So we actually have to clean this up. So what I recommend doing is getting an abrasive pad and scrubbing it down with some WD-40 or even some Brasso, so that you can get like, you're almost like you're sanding this. So let's put a little bit of WD-40 on here. Wrap that around and just scrub it for a few minutes, all the way up and down. And you can see after just a few minutes of scrubbing, most of that corrosion has already come off. It's nice and clean. So let's wipe this down again and see how it looks. Now that's pretty clean. So let's put the brass fitting on and see how it looks when we run it over again. Still not perfect, but it's a lot better than it felt before. You can barely hear any of the sliding at all. It's getting there. That's what I like to see, is that it, under its own gravity, will go all the way down. So the next step in this is to use the 1000 grit sandpaper, or higher if you have it, with some Brasso. So you're going to put some Brasso on the sandpaper and just scrub it again for a few more minutes. Let's see what happens after I get that done. And look at that. That is perfect. Completely spotless stainless steel all the way down. Now it's very important that when you guys do lubricate your rods, that you only use like a silicone or even a WD-40. Don't use a thick lithium grease because it'll just clog everything up. So let's put that bearing on and see how it looks. Now the bearing still needs to get cleaned, so let's keep that in mind. See how this slides. Oh, look at that. That is perfect. That is the kind of free play that we're going to be looking for when we're 3D printing. You don't want any friction, as little friction as possible when you're 3D printing. So now I just have to do this to the other 7 rods. Do I have 7? I have 6 total, so I have to do this to the 5 other rods and clean all the other bearings. And let's see what that looks like. Alright guys, be right back. And here we are. You can see I put a little bit of elbow grease and I got all of these 6 rods nice and clean. Almost no corrosion left. It looks like it's brand new, machine made. So let's see how it fits over the new brass fitting. So I wanted to talk about is why you should never use brake cleaner on ABS parts. I sprayed some brake cleaner on this to try to clean it up because it was really gross before. The previous owner used lithium grease on this and it was just all gunked up. But now you can see it's nice and clean. I did end up putting some brake cleaner on it and learning that never use brake cleaner on any plastic parts. It will immediately start to melt it. So let's slide this on and see how it feels. Oh, look at that, it's already starting to slide. A little bit of a movement. that is smooth. That's how free you want your linear rails on your 3D printer. So anytime you have a 3D printer, you can do this yourself with just a few household items. Go ahead and get the elbow grease out. You got a lot of time on your hands right now. Go ahead and clean up those 3D printers. If you have smooth rod on them, it's really easy and you can do it all yourself. That's all I got, guys. Thanks. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Bye.